This is a wet morning, and just for personal reference, I'm recording with the built-in microphone on the Nano. I'm pretty impressed with how well that works outside. But yeah, it's definitely messy walking, and we sort of have a mix of rain and snow coming down. It's not bad right now, but we'll see if I can stay out of the rain before I get back. Okay, so yesterday I began to talk a little bit about this whole idea of healing and how it has come to me in my own experience. I certainly don't think that what I know of it necessarily represents a pattern, and there's certainly no formulas, that. But I talked yesterday about whether or not the verse, "By his stripes we are healed," is an indication that when Christ died for us, he also provided for our healing, physical healing, certainly spiritual healing. And then that sort of sat with me for a while. One day I was reading the story of the 10 lepers who came to Jesus and sought healing, and he sent them to the priest. He said, "Go show yourself to the priest." Problem was they had nothing to show, and that was standard operating procedure back then, because the priest is the one who had to declare a person healed or clean. So off they went, and then I found this little phrase, probably because it was a timely read, and the phrase said, "As they went, they were healed." And as far as the scripture itself, that is where I'm going to stop for today. But healing, naturally speaking, is a progressive thing. We heal more quickly when we're younger, but God has designed the body to heal, but not instantaneously, progressively. And I forget about that as I get older, because I think, well, I guess I'm not a part of that anymore, but that's not true. I prayed to God for healing at a point in my life when I didn't know of any way to get out of a situation that I had that robbed me of sleep at night. It was a congestion issue. I found out that I had something called, it's hay fever for no reason. There's a technical term for it, but I can't remember what it is. If you have hay fever because you have allergies, you can take medications to help yourself. My problem was that I had hay fever for no reason, so I went to an allergist, and I wasn't allergic to anything, but I was still having these congestion issues, and it created anxiety for me, especially at night. It kept me awake a lot. And the scripture, what I felt I was being spoken to about, it was sort of a promise. It was a promise. And what I felt like God was saying is, "Karl, you go about your business. I'll take care of your healing." And I began to realize that every day, all of us walk in a measure of healing as long as we're alive, as long as we're breathing and able to get up and function to some degree, then we have a measure of healing. You can look around and see many people who are far worse off than you or I, who struggle every day with life. And it's a rough ride for them. And just waving at a friend there. And I realized that I could still function. I still had things I could do. Yeah, I was tired. Yeah, I was discouraged. Yes, when the nights came, I was anxious because they were so long. But I had a measure of healing, and God's challenge became to me, walk in the measure of healing that you have right now. And that's where I'm going to stop today. I'll continue this tomorrow. But I just want to encourage you to think about that. The measure of healing that God has given you today. And if healing is progressive and you have a measure of healing, then the most grateful, I think, and the most honoring thing that we can do in our lives is to walk, to go about our business, to walk in the healing that we have today and leave the rest to the Lord.